That's Navisworks 2022, up and running with. It's by Deepak Mani, who I had the pleasure of meeting at AU 2019 in Las Vegas. Attended his class, they're very good. And this book has complimentary access to videos of all the tutorials in this book for your learning guide. So I'm going to look at one of his models to show our advanced class how to go farther in Navisworks. So this is a scene, a plant exercise when we're going to do a hard clash. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change our lighting styles to full lights. And then we want to zoom this over a bit so we can open up our clash detective toolbar. I'm going to set him right there, and I'm going to open up our clash detective. So once our class detective window is open, we want to go up into the upper right hand corner. We want to select add test. And here we'll add a test, and we'll call this concrete versus pipe. And once we do that, we'll go down to our selection A. We'll select concrete, and standard section B. We'll go piping. And then we want to set our tolerance to 0.04 here. And this is going to be type hard. We have other selections here, conservative, duplicates. But we want to go with hard, and we'll just run our tests. Okay, now we have 5 classes displayed here. In the up here, there's our 5 classes. And so this is what we have now. Okay, now we want to go back into our class detective. We want to add another test. And this test, we'll call this one steel versus equipment. And then our section A, we'll go with steel. And our section B, we'll go with equipment. Next thing we do here, we'll have our tolerance again at 0.04. And then we'll run our test again. And there you see our classes come into view. Okay, now we're going to do some interrogating of the classes. So we'll resize our window here so we can see our display settings, which are here. And then we want to go down to where it says view content. And right here at this section, we'll select home, which is, we already got that set as a default. And then we'll click view. And what happens when we click view, it'll zoom into our clash, as you can see right here. So let's look at clash 2. And there's our second clash. We zoomed right in for our home view in clash 2. Now, in our display settings, let's scroll down to the view content area here. And we want to select class 6. So there's our class 6. Okay. And then we want to go here, we want to hit transparent, we want to deselect that. And as you can see, we'll see that it's not transparent anymore. That's with auto reveal on. And we select auto reveal off, turn that off, and we'll see this setting. Now, so those are good little things we can do here. Now let's go into select class 1. in concrete versus pipe. And there's our class 1 in the concrete versus pipe. And let's hit transparent dimming. And there's our pipe, our class there. This is the class, that's class 1. So now let's go and have a look at class 4. And there's another class. And then I'll just go to our view content button, and it'll bring it right back to home view. So now let's go look at adding comments to classes. So let's go look at class number 1. And in this class, we want to give this, we want to say here, what happens when we get to this point, we just go in and say, we just do the right click like I showed you in the previous video of our basic class, where we said, I'm sorry here, I just want to check Mr. Money's book. So let's go look at class number 5. And here I want to go and just show you what happened if we want to go auto reveal, turn off dimming, and you'll see the class right here. Let's look at class number 4. That's number 4. This is 5. So we're moving right along here, folks. And we can go to transparent dimming. I tend to like that one better because you can really see things. So it's 4 transparent dimming. So now let's go into class number 1 here. And let's add some comments. So we go to class 1. And we'll do a right click. And we'll add a comment. So here, this little dialog box will pop up. And in this comment, we're going to say, let's reduce the pipe length based on the class distance. So here, let's say reduce. We'll say new, and we'll say OK. So let's open our class detector once again. Let's go look at 4. This one here. And for this one, we will say, let's do the right click, add comment, and here we'll say reduce. Horizontal based on class distance. And we'll say OK. Now, what you'll notice here is these little boxes here, they're noticed, and these numbers, these are notifying that we have comments, and these are views. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go back to our steel versus equipment. And in this view, we want to go look at class 1. Let's do a right click on class 1. And we want to add a comment here. And here we'll say increase. You can say whatever you want here, whatever's relative. And width. Let's say cyclone based on the class. Let's say class distance here, just to be. And then we'll go and say OK. And reopen our class detector. And now I think we want to go back to concrete versus pipe. And now we want to organize these classes into groups. So to do that, we'll have to go down, and while we're in class versus, we're in this class here, the concrete versus pipe, let's go all the way down here where we see that it says AC pipe. And we'll highlight AC pipe. And then we also need to highlight over on the other window here. We just scroll this down a bit so we can see what's happening here. The AC pipe here. My screen's so tiny here. Hope we can adjust this to see what's going on here. I can't get this guy over here. Let me see if I can do this. Here we go. So we'll have 3D solid selected. And now we'll go over here. Running out of space, folks. Sorry. So now we want to group these together here. So to do that, we'll just go up here and select 27. And we'll select this guy right here. And then you'll see our classes are all grouped together. So once we have them grouped together, we'll go and select this one here. And we'll rename this to layer 2. Let's say items. And then if we go and look at our class, we can look at layer, that's 1, that's 2. You can scroll around in here and have a look and make sure. Let's see, where's that one? Oops. Shift this around, sorry. Should be over there. Here it is. And then go back to our class detective, and there's class 3. Let's do a transparency dimming so we can see it. Let's go to home. And just do auto reveal. So we kind of lost here. Can't see that guy that well, but those are how you group them together. Okay, now we want to move on here now. Let me see if I can pull this around a bit for you folks. I want to zoom this out, and I want to just go in here. Let's hit our transparency, and let's just shift this around. There it is. So there's our class 3. I don't know if I should save that view somehow, but that's class 3. And so what we do here now, we want to orbit around here, and then we want to save this view because we had to find this one. And to do that, we'll just hit this button here. So now let's go to class 2. That's good. Let's see if we got that saved. Yes, we have it saved. Great. So now we have our 3 views saved. So there's our so that's what we want to do here. We have to actually go in and save these views. So let's go back and let's look at class 1 and make sure we got a good view here. So class 1 looks okay. Class 2 is okay. And there's our class 3. So okay, there we go. So we have our 3 class views saved that we just grouped together. Now let's go look at class 4. Now in class 4, we want to do the same thing. We want to go down here and select 301. And then we hit the group the button. And there's our classes. And now what we do here at this point, we rename this to, let's rename this guy to, I think we want to rename this to layer 301 items. Let's save there. And here are our classes. There's our class 4 and our class 5. So these 3 appear to be okay. Now let's write our class report. So what we do now, we'll move up to here and we hit class report and everything here is selected. We want these defaults seem to be fine for us here. And then we want to have here, I think we want to set this to everything. And then right here, we want to select this report type. We want all tests separated. And then we want to select where it says report format. Let's go with HTML tubular. And then we write our report. Now our report will go into a folder, so I'm going to place this report in my folder where I got these wonderful files from. So I'm going to go to plant. And I'm gonna go here. I can't open that, so I'm gonna just go make a new folder here. And I'm gonna call this folder reports. So I named that file reports. And then it'll say okay. And then we'll get it's saving our reports. Now let's go and have a look at our reports. So I'm gonna go back into my folders here. There's my reports. And then I have my report for concrete versus pipe, steel, in HTML format. So let's have a look here, see what we got. So there are my classes. Each one of these views. And then I'll have a look at, let me go back here. And let's look at steel versus equipment. There are those classes. And then I'll go back once again. I'll look at my HTML files. I'm slow computer here, folks, sorry. And there are my reports. There's my reports for my class report. This is steel versus pipe. I'll chop that one down. And there's my report, steel versus equipment. So that's pretty good. That's how you do class detective. We'll take this further. But again, I want to thank you all for watching this video. I'm going to leave it here. And again, this is from Deepak Mani. He's a really great guy. And go on Amazon and buy this book. I mean, you get full tutorials and you'll be up and running with Navisworks. So thanks for watching and have a great day. And thanks again, Mr. Deepak Mani. I appreciate meeting you and purchasing your books. Have a good one. Bye. And then again, thanks for watching this video and please subscribe. It helps me out a lot.